Colorado State Pueblo, the Thunderwolves from the RMAC, and a team. Why don't we start with their 2022 results from the season last year? Put together a pretty solid season. Ended up finishing second in their conference behind Mines, who we know went all the way to the national final to lose to Ferris. But looking at their slate here, look at these first 4 games. Like, this could be one of the toughest gauntlets in all of Division II football. And I will tell you, fellas, these first 4 are all the same heading into 2023. Obviously, you flip the home versus away on these when you sign those game contracts. But you open at Midwestern State, who was top 25 at the time. Then you go play Grand Valley, Western Colorado, who was 3rd in their conference last year. And then you have another nationally ranked opponent in Mines. That is one of the toughest opening schedules in D2 football.
Is Mines and Pueblo like a big rival or no?
That's a good question. I would assume so because of the history.
I thought they had like a game moved to the Thunder Bowl or something they had on their page.
So the Thunderwolves moved the game. The game Western Colorado was supposed to be at Western Colorado this coming year. I believe that got moved
so
back.
It's called
to
the
their
Thunder
field.
Bowl.
Yes, and we'll take a look at that in just a second, actually. So that's a good segue. It's a cool little stadium. But looking back at their results, if you go,
Lewis.
yes,
yeah, what?
That's
Oh my God!
I was going to touch on that.
But if you look, shitting me?
If you look at the schedule, they obviously finished 8-4. 3 of those losses in the first 4 games, they bounce back and have themselves a hell of a year. And some of them,
Well, clearly they were pissed off after the Mines game.
Yes.
Jeez, Lois.
Oh my goodness.
That's that one meme where it's like, he's dead.
He's already dead.
He's already dead. Stop.
Their only other loss coming in the first round of the playoffs, once again to Mines. Did give them a pretty good game, but we know that Mines offense with Matoka, with McLeod, and that offensive backfield, the offensive line for them was just too much.
They were nice.
For a lot of teams. They put up 45 on them. Again, that was at Colorado Mines too. So, but even when you look at the back half of this year, Colorado Mesa, pretty solid team. South Dakota Mines, very respectable squad. They have some quality wins there. So, CSU Pueblo definitely found their stride last year a little bit. But before we get into talking about their next year's slate, we can talk about that very stadium that you were bringing up, Cade, the Thunder Bowl itself. That is a pretty good look at it right there.
That's dope.
Nice.
Really nice.
Real nice.
Nothing too
The
crazy.
sunset
Not trying to
definitely
outdo
helps,
themselves.
but
Time of day, yeah.
yeah, pretty sick, dope ass stadium. Bro, this fly is pissing me off.
I just noticed that it was over there.
What do you say, Trev?
It's really bugging me too.
But this stadium, I mean, Trev, you and I talked about it. Anything with a bowl, like count us in.
Oh, yeah,
Anything
yeah.
that has a
Good.
bowl shape. You've got, it looks like a pretty sizable video board in that far end zone from us. And then always a plus, that lawn area that's in an arc
And
outside
sick.
the end zone.
So
The
sick.
home and away are both large.
Why does it only have the field over here, though, and not the field on the other side?
How do you mean?
Behind the field goal post.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're talking about the green area behind the field goal post and the north, or
Yeah.
not north, the closest one to us.
You think it's just...
I don't know if
probably
that's
for
track
track.
behind it. It looks like
Okay.
that'd be like a high jump area or something along
makes
those
sense.
lines.
That makes sense.
Now, it would be nice to have that like strictly be a football field and not have a track, but at the Division II level, you just don't really see that often because these facilities have to be so multifunctional.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, all things considered, guys, pretty
That's
nice
sick,
spot.
dude. Imagine
Good light setup.
filling that thing up.
I think they do. I think they do a pretty good job of
Is that grass up there, too? Like people can sit in the lawn?
Yeah.
On
That's
that
what I
arc?
was just saying. Yeah.
Okay,
So
all
that
right.
looks like a nice little grass
That's
spot
dope.
for standing
That's
room.
definitely like,
So they definitely
that's
fill
like
it.
the student section, dude. That'd be sweet. Come
That'd be
on,
pretty dope.
bro.
Wish I had my salt gun right now.
This is a look at their locker room. I mean, nothing absolutely crazy. Nice little space. This might be a little bit of an older image, it kind of looks like, but this was the one on their current athletics website. So I just grabbed what I can. Just get those chairs out of there.
Looks a little outdated.
Why don't we just get those chairs and just take those out of there? It might be a
Looks
little
like they-
better. Slap a logo in the middle of it, call it a day. You know what I mean?
I really don't understand the chairs.
Were they going to be Bob Ross and paying it for practice or what?
I don't know. And they're facing opposite ways, which is also very interesting. Like,
I think
why
they
are
just
they
do it for
facing that
show.
way?
There's no way those things sitting there all day.
And if they do, there's 2 chairs, a lot of
Like,
sweaty-ass individuals.
I'd be damned to come back after practice and sit on a stool. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. There's no way they keep those in there. They probably set them up for the helmets.
That's pretty good. No, they probably did. There's a little bit of opposing that. It's definitely could be the case. Now, here's a look at their weight room, which I actually really like the look of this.
Yeah.
This is something that a lot of natural light in there. The rack set up, Olympic-looking weights right there.
Love to see it.
Pretty clean. And we always start all these features with just like a kind of a facility overview because I think that's
important,
pretty neat.
yeah.
That banner right there, the football
People don't
championship last
understand.
week.
Like, it's not like we. Oh, you didn't go D1, man. You got it. You got it tough, bro.
You got the
must,
mud at D2.
You must have not had shit. Come take a walk around Superior Dome up in Marquette, brother. Or like, look at this, dude. Like, come on, that's beautiful.
Very nice. Yeah.
You're telling me you can't succeed
No, it
in
looks
there?
great. It looks fantastic. A nice big space too. Like definitely could fit a
Right.
squad in there and get a great lift in. So that's always that's a really big part of it actually. But before we talk about some of this year's returners, some of the guys that are leaving, there was a good tweet here about some of the current Thunderwolves in the pros. And fellas, I think you'll actually be surprised by the second man on this list, Ryan Jensen,
How did I not know that?
who I believe has since retired, right? Am I
Yeah.
correct? The center, former center for the Buccaneers. Ryan Jensen was a CSU Pueblo Thunderwolf.
Interesting.
And that I
Never
would
knew
have
that.
never expected. You got Morgan Fox, who was in his 5th season there. Looks like he plays for the Rams. Mike Pennell in his 7th season with the Chiefs. And then Deion Sizer's a recent graduate, 2nd season in Denver
this
with
is
the
2020.
Broncos.
I'd be interested to see they're still playing.
Yeah. So that's right. That is just an old tweet. That is good to note. But now, obviously, the one we do know is Ryan Jensen has since retired. But that's a pretty notable alum, man. He played. That was his 8th. Does that say 8th year? Correct. So he played a decade.
Yeah,
he played a decade in the league. That is at that position is absolutely incredible to be able to do
At a
that and
pretty
have that
high
kind of
level,
longevity.
too. He was a good center. Like,
Went down with a really unfortunate leg injury in camp,
Yeah.
if I do remember correctly, right?
yeah. And
That's
just
too bad.
Just retired, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Snapping balls to the old TB12, correct?
Kate's favorite.
Kate's favorite.
What's that?
TB12.
TB12.
Oh yeah. I like the better when he's
But-
not mentioned on the show.
Yeah. Let's get into some of the current guys, though, right? Couple guys they're losing. Some big time. And, it's a good and a bad thing because these 3 guys I'm going to talk about all going on to play professional football in 3 different leagues, which is pretty exciting for them. One of them we had on the show, defensive lineman Trey Botts. He signed as a free agent with the Baltimore Ravens before the draft was even over. Definitely go back and find that episode. I'll try and remember to put a video card here to go listen to Trey's episode. Absolutely enjoyed having him on the show, but that story was really interesting because he kind of realized, and Baltimore did too, that he wasn't going to be a draft pick and said, we really want this guy. We're going to sign him before any other team gets a chance to do that. I didn't know that was a possibility.
That is weird. That was really
Before
weird.
the draft is even up, you get the rights to someone. There might be some type of, if this, then that type deal going on.
I feel like there's got to be some sort of way where like they know, okay, there's this many picks left. They go on the list. Are they going to take them? No. They're going to take them? No. They're going to take them? No.
Yeah,
So, like,
absolutely.
There's some sort of like he knew in the back of his head too, right? Like he's
Yeah.
like,
Or else he wouldn't have signed.
Right.
If you think you're going to get drafted, I ain't signing this free agent deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But great video. Be sure to check out Trey Botts. Signed as a free agent with the Ravens. Super excited to see what he does. Another one in their defensive line, Momar Fall, drafted by the Houston Roughnecks in the XFL. If you remember that video from him walking with the Lions,
that was Momar.
that was Momar Fall.
He was on here too. Yeah.
No, he was not on the
Oh,
show.
he wasn't?
No. But you and I watched that video of him
Yeah.
walking with the Lions.
That was sick.
I don't know if you were here for that one, Trey.
Dude, it was so sick.
Literally, the dude
He's
is
literally
just
Lion King,
straight
bro.
out of a movie.
He's
Like,
literally
it
Lion
is
King.
freaking incredible.
He's the
I
Lion
listened
King.
to the pod. I remember it.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet.
Mowing
But
some grass.
he's a dog.
Wixom, Michigan.
Finally, their kicker, Dean Faithful. If he didn't leave, he'd be on our all-name. He might be on our all-name
Faithful, yeah, kicker. That's a nice.
team. Dean Faithful.
He got drafted though, right?
Old
Or no?
faithful.
He signed with the Edmonton Elks in the
okay.
CFL. So he is going to play some professional ball, not in the NFL, but kind of cool. Nice little spread there. Thunderwolves doing a really good job of placing their guys in the pros, which is really cool for them. Now, some of the guys they're getting back on either side of the ball. Their safety, John Nushi. He's the leading tackler in 2022. 71 tackles for him at safety. Big part of that
impressive.
defense.
How big is he?
That's a great question. Then defensive back Daniel Bone. He had 6 interceptions in 2022. That was tied for 5th most in all of Division II. He's also part of Lindsay's preseason first team All-American team.
I did see
wow.
that.
So really big time. I wouldn't say addition. Redemption, reclamation
I don't know.
for the Thunderwolves.
That's too big of a word for me.
Returner?
Really big return. We'll keep it at that. How about that?
That's pretty good.
I like that one.
We'll keep it at that. But those guys, 2 really big pieces on that defense. They also, I wanted to note, spread the workload in the backfield very well last year. It was something that I really noticed when looking at some of the stats last year. And you see that, their top 2, you had Austin Backer with 102 attempts. You had Kian Martinez with 74. Then Jordan Jones with 45. And Nick Bingham with 40. And Steven Kroll with 36. And then Mariano Kemp with 23. And it's like...
So they have plenty of depth.
They have absolutely...
And are they all returning years?
The top two are both redshirt sophomores, I wanted to say. I can check, actually. Let me not say that before.
It says...
the one is a junior. Their leading is coming back is a junior, and then a sophomore. So, yeah. So, junior and a sophomore, their top two out of the backfield going to be big for them. But that was something I noticed out of their stats. I didn't catch many of their games last year. Excuse me. But when you're able to split a workload like that, that speaks volumes about the talent, right?
It says that John Nushi's a linebacker
Does it?
on the roster, yeah.
Interesting, because they had him listed
Here's a
as
name.
safety, I think.
Linebacker, I don't know, I'm going to butcher the name. Wilda Germano.
Talking to the mic there.
Wilda Germano from Hilo, Hawaii.
Interesting.
Kamehameha, Hawaii.
But Nushi's a linebacker, though?
Yeah, that's what it
Okay,
says.
interesting. I don't know why I must have saw safety somewhere
He's
else.
from Colorado, too.
Sweet.
5'11", 204.
Big time.
Yeah.
Potentially the biggest piece of news for the Thunderwolves heading into the 2023 season, fellas, that's their new head coach, Philip Vigil. He's the former head coach at Western New Mexico. He was a quarterback, actually, at Colorado Mesa. He grew up 2 hours away from Pueblo, said he was home when he got the job. So he was very excited to be back in this area, said he has a lot of family in this area. And at Western New Mexico, this is a pretty crazy stat for you guys. In the 3 years before Vigil became the team's head coach, the Mustangs amassed, it says, an abysmal record, not my words, of 1-21
Holy shit.
in the 3 years before Vigil took the helm.
Wow.
That's pretty bad.
Before?
That's bad.
Before. Now, in his first year coaching the Mustangs, they went 1-10. And that's maybe to be expected, right? His second year, he led the team to its first winning season in 30 years. Topped it off with a Green Chili Bowl victory over rival Eastern New Mexico.
Wow.
Green Chili Bowl, by the way, that is an awesome freaking name.
They got to have some mean chips and salsa there, bro.
Do you think, like, the Idaho Potato Bowl where they get dumped? Could you imagine getting dumped with a Gatorade cooler full of green chili?
They got to have some mad salsa there, bro. I'm already knowing it's that green stuff, too. That shit that spices.
The Verde.
Yeah. Shit hit the tip of your tongue. You're like, ah. The hell?
You come up behind you and surprise coach with a dump, and then you got people coming in with chips, scooping it off the turf. And
Good
get a
job,
little,
coach. We got some hair on this one.
But I will say, too, D2 Football did a great piece with him. It said, I think the title on YouTube is just like Philip Vigil goes inside D2 Football. Again, I'll try and put a little tab there to their piece. He had a sit-down interview with them. If we can get them on the show, that'd be great. But if not, definitely check out their piece.
Yeah, hopefully he sees this.
That is a really big... I mean, it's a really big addition for them, a guy who is very passionate about that area. The last part I wanted to look at here as it pertains to CSU Pueblo, fellas, the 2022 RMAC standings. We can talk about that a little bit. We've touched on it. Obviously, at the top of this list is, let me zoom in here. There we go. Colorado School of Mines. That one, not too surprising. 9-0 in conference play there overall. End up at, what is that, 13-3? Because they played that really tough out-of-conference schedule. One of those losses coming to Grand Valley. Obviously, another one of those losses coming to Ferris State in the national championship. So, School of Mines, we know they play a tough schedule, and when you're in their position, you certainly can. CSU Pueblo listed second there because they had a little bit of a better overall record than Western Colorado, who is right behind them. And then you look at South Dakota Mines, Black Hills State, some of those Mesa, some of those kind of squads. But that was definitely neck and neck there for a bit between Western Colorado and Pueblo. And like we said, boys, they play those two other top 3 teams in the first 4 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
Going to be some big-time challenges for them heading into 2023.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun couple weeks for them, watching them off the rip.